All right, story time, boys and girls. I just got back from AK Masters in Clinton House, South Carolina, and it was a great match. It was put on by a guy named Devin Axton, who's a really great shooter. Really, really awesome match. Great to see everybody there. Some people I only see once a year at AK Masters, or I only see them at majors and stuff like that. So good to hang out with the homies. I shot with my regular shooting buddies, and it was just a great time. I managed to pull off fourth in light irons, which unfortunately I finished off day one in first place and fell all the way down to fourth place. So that kind of hurt. I can really only blame myself, but of course I'm going to make an excuse, and the excuse was that this rifle, which I shot day one with, was not working. It had the most ridiculous, unlikely, bad luck malfunction that I have ever seen in any rifle ever. Really, you guys know I shoot a lot of matches. I see a lot of other people shoot a lot, and I've never seen anything quite like what happened to this rifle. And disclaimer, there's nothing wrong with the gun. Gun is fine. The gun is fine now, even after this catastrophic malfunction. Gun is good. No damage to the barrel or magazine or the shooter. But story time. Let me tell you what happened. So I shot this gun. This is the my South African R5, of course. Galil, you've seen it on the channel before. I was doing really well with it. I was shooting iron sights, and it's got really good iron sights. Day two, we were shooting PM. And my buddy, I'm going to call him Jimmy to protect his identity. But anyway, Jimmy came up, and Jimmy was like, first of all, Jimmy is an awesome guy, really good shooter, very trustworthy guy, one of my friends, super good dude. And he was interested in shooting my gun. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he was like, oh, let me go grab some ammo. And I was like, well, I'd be more comfortable shooting my own ammo. You guys might be able to see where this is going. He was like, well, no, it's good ammo. It's Defender 55 grain. And I was like, well, okay. All right, fine. You can shoot your, I like Defender ammo. Defender ammo has been good to me. It's a quality ammo company right here in North Carolina. He loaded a mag, and he was firing, and he was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then all of a sudden, kaboom. It was pretty obvious. First of all, I was like, Jimmy, are you okay? I looked him over. He seemed to be all right. He said, ow, right? Because there was an explosion. A weird sound, and the bolt was... I was on the other side of the gun, but the bolt was clearly not in battery, and I took the rifle and I looked at it, and I don't have a video of it, but if you've ever seen an out-of-battery discharge, the ass end of the casing pretty much explodes, and it's just a mangled mess. So it was clear that there was an out-of-battery discharge. I had no idea what happened. Once I figured out Jimmy was okay, took the mangled ass end of the case out, the case head, and threw it away. But there was still a stuck casing in the chamber. It was completely flush with the chamber, and you wouldn't even know that it was in there except for a little gold ring around the inside of the chamber, where the case had just completely sheared off. And I was like, well, okay. I was at the Sure Shot booth with Bandito Bill, and he did not happen to have it's called a broken case extractor. I'll roll in a picture of it. Guess what I ordered as soon as I got home? But he didn't have one, and we got a cleaning rod, and we stuck the cleaning rod down the bore, and sure enough, there was something in the bore. So we knocked it out, and it was a projectile. It was the 5.56 projectile. That's not what caused the out of battery discharge. That was the result. Because it didn't go into battery, it just kind of launched. It yeeted itself a couple of inches into the bore and stayed there until we hammered it out. So we got the bore clear, but there was unburned powder all inside of the action, and still that case was in there. So my buddy, H-Town Werewolf, Rodrigo, if you guys don't follow him on YouTube, you should go follow him. He's a really fun guy, super, super nice guy. But anyway, you'll see in the AK Masters video that he let me borrow his 5.56 crank. So I borrowed that and shot the rest of the match with it. It's an Arsenal SLR 106. I did okay, but the sight system on the crank is just pales in comparison to the nice, aperture Galil sights. So I didn't do as well as I wanted. It's kind of a bummer. My buddy Jimmy felt really bad. I didn't want to give him too much shit because it was just an accident. But I got home. I looked up an easy way to pull stuck cases. So I pulled the stuck case out with a round file, and I'll roll in a picture of what that looks like, but it's just a file that's round. And I pulled this out of the chamber, if you guys can see that. And I'm going to go to a close-up here and kind of explain what the hell actually happened, because that's not the end of the story. So I pulled this out of the chamber, which you can see there's file marks on the inside from where I used the round file to pull it out. But you can see it's kind of oddly shaped here. It looks kind of like 300 blackout or something. It looks like the case head is blown out. Something weird is going on. But I didn't think much of it. I cleaned out the chamber a little bit, as much as I could, on the rifle. And I tried to chamber another, I checked the firing pin, made sure it wasn't like frozen or something weird. And then I tried to chamber another round, and it wouldn't go. It wouldn't go into the chamber. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on? So I tried to chamber 2 different rounds, and as you can see, there's kind of a lip here where they ran into something. And I was like, oh my God, is my chamber bulged or deformed or something? I freaked out. I was really like, oh my God, my gun is ruined. I have to have it rebuilt. But that wasn't the case. I actually looked into the chamber with a brighter flashlight this time, and I saw even deeper into the chamber, there was another piece of stuck brass. There's been a second stuck casing. So, yeah, that was alarming and confusing, but I'll explain to you what exactly happened. So here is what I pulled out of the chamber for the second time, which was the culprit behind everything. Obviously, this case ripped in half inside the chamber. My buddy did not notice, and he was in the middle of shooting, and I didn't notice it. You can't see this, right? It's not a case head separation. It's literally the middle of the case is ripped in half. So you can't even see it unless you have a really bright flashlight and, look into the chamber. So the chances of catching that before you fire it are pretty, or before something bad happens, are pretty low. So obviously this case fired. The back half ripped off, was ejected out of the gun, and then a new round was loaded in behind it and detonated somehow. I don't know exactly how, but I guess it was in battery enough for it to ignite, for the firing pin to be able to be struck. And then you have this situation inside of the chamber. And that's not exactly lined up, but it's, you know, about the same size as a case. But you can see on the initial piece of brass I pulled out, there's a line that perfectly follows the ass end of this broken case. So I've never seen anything like this. This is 2 pieces of a stuck case stuck inside of a chamber that took 2 days for me to figure out, well, maybe like a day and a half for me to figure out what exactly was going on. And I used another round file to pull this out, the initial stuck case, because I haven't gotten my extractor tool yet. But I poured some Croil down the bore, and after all of this was out of the chamber, I gave the chamber a good polish. I'm probably going to polish it some more, make sure all of the crap and everything is out of there. It could have been caused by a dirty chamber, but you know, it wasn't that dirty. And also, this is just a complete fluke, crazy accident that I've never seen happen, and I hope never happens to anybody while they're trying to shoot a match. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. This video is brought to you by Greg's Grips. This is definitely an American-made 1911 with actually American-made Carlo Walnut Double Diamond grips made by yours truly. Available at gregsgrips.com. Also, Hudson H9 or Daniel Defense H9 grips are available too if you have one of those and you want to beautify your Daniel Defense H9. I make walnut grips or any other kind of wood. Just send me a DM and I'll get you hooked up.
Nice grips.
Oh,